girls. Welcome back to PriMath Zoom. This is lesson 4. Type hello in the chat so I know that you're here. I am Miss Shanieka. Hello, Jalen. Hello, Zaria. Hello, Wickham. Go right ahead and type hello in the chat. Welcome, Julian. Welcome, Alicia. Welcome, Nikisha. Welcome, KD Murphy. It's good to see you guys here. Welcome, Ramon. Today, we will be practicing some more grade 3 diagnostic test items. So to be ready, I want everyone to have their pencil and notebook ready because you will be solving problems with me. Welcome, I am King. Welcome, Nalia. Welcome, Trisha. Welcome, Gamesia. Hi, Dam. Hi, Howard. Welcome. We are going to start in about 1 minute. So please take this time to invite a friend so they can also benefit from this session. And if you're new here, please go right ahead and subscribe so that you will see when our next live session will begin. Also, as we wait, please go right ahead and tell me the school you are joining us from. Najwa from Angels Primary, welcome. Welcome, Shanieka from Nazareth Primary and Infant. Go right ahead, tell me the school you're joining from. Welcome to Jalen from Kensington Primary, Shanieka from St. John's Primary, Zaria from Alpha, Jalen from Mile Gully, Kashia from Angels, K Black from Hagley Park. Welcome, St. John's Primary, Catalea from Chester, Dominique from Brownsall Primary, Ramon from Friendship Primary, Petherine from Runaway Bay Primary, Gamesia from New Green Primary, welcome. Welcome, hello Shanique. Hi Niger. Shamara from Mona Heights Primary, Dam from Alpha Primary, and Niger from Alpha Primary, welcome. Lejuan from Gabriella from Nazareth Primary, welcome to Savannah Primary people, Goodall Primary, Kings Primary, welcome. Awesome. Hello, Shellyan. Marlemont's Primary in the house, welcome. Beulah Primary. Okay, now we are going to do some rapid response just to get your brain juice flowing. So the first one to type the answer in the chat. What is 10 plus 5? Welcome, Christiana Primary, King's Primary. What is 10 plus 5? First one, Nick Wayne, good job. 15, Jalen 15. Welcome, Slagoville. Good job, Ramon, Barbara, Dam, Najwa, Shanique, Shamika, Delvine. Everyone saying 15. Good job. You are correct. Your answer is 15. Good job, Kayla, Shanika. I am King. K, good job. Next question. What is 15 take away 3? What is 15 take away 3? First correct answer in the chat. All right, Barbara, shout out to Barbara. She says 12. Niquane says 12. Shout out. Shanieka, 12. Kayla, Tashana. Good job, guys. Ramon, Shelia, Najwa. Good job. Yes, 15. Take away 3 is equal to 12. Good job. Is 8 an even or odd number? Is 8 an even or odd number? First correct answer in the chat. Okay, Tanisha from James Hill. Welcome. Dominique, shout out to you. First one to say even. Jalen says odd. Shanique says even. K Black says even. All right, good job. Yes, the correct answer is even, because remember, an even number has 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 in the ones place. And 8 is a number in the ones place. That means it's an even number. Good job, Nikisha, Nija, Taija, very good. Next one is, what number comes after 29? What number comes after 29? First one in the chat. Sir James, welcome, Sir James. 30, shout out to you. Barbara says 30. Jalen, Niquane, Shellyanne, good job, guys. If you said 30, you are correct. Fiona, Henry, Howard, good job. Yes, one more than 29 is 30. What is one more than 20? What is one more than 20? One more than 20. Good job, Jalen. Shout out to you. First one, Sir Marie James. Good job, Niquane. Shanieka. Good job, guys. Shelly and Shelia. Dominique. Awesome. Good job, guys. One more than 20 is 21. Now, as we prepare for our grade 3 diagnostic test, this is past paper 2021, part 2. Now, if you're just joining, please remember to invite a friend by sharing this link so they can also benefit. Moving on to our first question. What is 255 divided by 5? Our first question is, what is 255 divided by 5? Now that you have your pencil and notebook next to you, go right ahead and start working this out. What is 255 divided by 5? This can also be some mental math. I see Dam, Niquane, Shamika saying 51, Sir Marie James saying 51, Shelia saying 50, K Black saying 51, Alicia saying 21, Cynthia saying 51, Shelley 21, Henry saying 51, Peter Reen saying 51. All right, I'm seeing many answers. I'm seeing 50, I'm seeing 51. Okay, all right, let's go right ahead and work this out together. So first, you may want to draw your division bar. You'll put your divisor, which is 5, in this spot. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, can 5 go into 2? Can we get a group of 5 from 2? That's the first thing we're going to ask. And no, 2 is smaller than 5, so we cannot get a group of 5 from 2. We can put a 0 if we like, but it's not necessary. We move on to the next digit, and then we'll say, can I get a group of 5 from 25? How many groups of 5 can we get from 25? If you were to draw 25 strokes, how many groups of 5 will you be able to make? Yes, Shanieka, good job. Michaela, Ramon, yes, we'll be able to get 5. So we have used 25. Now we are going to look at the next digit, which is the last digit. And we will say how many groups of 5 can we get from 5? So 5 divided by 5 will be equal to what? Thank you, Dam, saying 1, and Ramon. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. Therefore, our answer is 51. If you said B, 51, good job. You are correct. Good work. And for those, if you did not say 51, you can always take a screenshot of this. It will be saved in your phone or tablet's gallery. And you'll be able to look back at this after. As well as this video will be available on the channel. You can always watch it as many times as you like to keep preparing for your exam. Next question. What is the best estimate of 375 times 5? What is the best estimate? The best estimate of 375 times 5. Is your answer A, 20,000, B, 2,000, or C, 200? Type your answer in the chat. K Black says 2,000. So does Shanieka Stewart. So does William. So does Zidane. Oshia says 2,000. Tracy Ann says 2,000. Zidane, Sir Marie James says 200. Zidane says 2,000. Sir Marie James says 2,000. Julian says 2,000. And Catalea. Niger from Alpha. Okay. All right. Now, if we talk about an estimate, who can tell me what an estimate is? Jalen says 20,000. We will go through this so we can see who is correct. What is an estimate? What is an estimate? Sir Marie James says 2,000 is the closest because 375 times 5 is closest to, I think he means 2,000. What is an estimate? Someone says like you round off. K Black says guessing. Nigel says guessing. Julian says a guess. Yes. An estimate is a guess, but it's not just any guess. This is an estimate is like your best guess. All right. Yes, Ashia, it's a good guess. An estimate is not just any guess. Because what if I guess to be the answer to be 5? That's a guess, but that cannot be a good guess. Zidane says a rough calculation. Very good. Very good. Now, Marcia says almost near. William says what you think is the answer. All right. So yes, it is a good guess. Good guess. All right. So now, because we have 375 times 5, we could just say 375 is close to 400. And because we can say 375 is close to 400, because it's easier to multiply 5 by 400, we can easily come up with a good estimate. So if we were supposed to do this mentally, that means in your mind, you would be like 379, a lot of different numbers, sort of different big digits like 7 and so on. But if I round this off to 400, I can easily multiply it by 5. That's how we come up with guess. So in my mind, I would quickly say, okay, 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 5 times 4 is 20. Good. So my guess would be 2,000. And if you see in the options here, we have 20,000, 2,000, and 200. So we know our best estimate of 375 multiplied by 5 has to be 2,000. So when you're thinking about making a good estimate, sometimes we think about what is a friendly number that we can round this one to. So a friendly number is a number that it's easy for you to calculate in your mind. And that would be 400. 400 is easier to multiply than 375. So good job to those who said 2,000, and the ones who said 200 and also 20,000. I hope you have seen the explanation. Awesome work, guys. The next question says, if 396 marbles are shared equally among 3 friends, how many will each friend receive? If 396 marbles are shared equally among 3 friends, how many will each friend receive? Go ahead, set this out. What will you do here? Will you add, subtract, multiply, divide? What will you do here? If you want to share something equally, what will you do? Good afternoon, June Plum. What will you do? I see some answers coming in. Sir Marie James saying 132, Shanieka saying 132, Kasian, Sadie, George, KD Murphy, William. Okay, I see people saying 132 here. Okay, Henry Tavoy says we divide. Thank you, Henry. We will divide. All right, so to share something equally, we will divide. So let me just go right ahead. I mean, we can always do this mentally, but let me just go right ahead and set this out to divide. My divisor in, my dividend, and I can divide. So I'll first start by saying, how many groups of 3 can I get up from 3? Because we will start from the number closest to the divisor when we do it like this. 3 groups of 3. In how many groups of 3 can I get from 3? That will be 1. Thank you, William. How many groups of 3 can I get from 9? How many groups of 3 can I get from 9? How many groups of 3 can I get from 9? Thank you again, William. 3 groups. How many groups of 3 can I get from 6? How many groups of 3 can I get from 6? Thank you again, William. So here we have 132 will be our quotient. Each person will receive 132. If you said A, 132, good job to you. Good job to you. Awesome work. Let's go right ahead to our next question. A class of students is divided evenly into 4 groups. How many groups are we dividing this class into? 4 groups, evenly into 4 groups, which could not be the total number of students in the class. When I see not in a question, I like to go right ahead and just highlight it. I'll put a circle around it, because that reminds me that whatever answer I'm getting, that is the answer. It should not be that answer. So a class of students is divided evenly into 4 groups, which could not be the total number of students in the class. So we are going to be looking for a number that we can divide into 4 groups. Which number will that be? I see some persons saying 52, some saying 46. All right. Okay. All right. Let's explore this. So 36 divided by 4 is what? Put your answers in the chat. 36 divided by 4 is what? How many groups of 4 can we get? Okay. People are saying 9. All right, good. 9 times. Let's think about this. If we divide 36 into 4 groups, how many groups will we get? I'm seeing different answers in the chat. All right, so we'll get 9. Therefore, it says could not be. We know that A is, you can get even groups of 4. So that cannot be our final answer because it's asked for which could not be. But now let's divide 46 by 4. What is 46 divided by 4? Okay, Sir Marie James says you can't divide it evenly into 4 groups because there is a remainder. All right, so 46 divided by 4 will be 11. And you have a remainder. All right, so 11 and a remainder. We have a remainder of 2. We can put it like that, or we can write it as a fraction, or as simply as this. Now, let us look at 52 divided by 4. You can already see that we cannot use 46. So you can already see that that one, 46, is the answer for this question because we cannot get 4 equal groups out of 46. But what about 52 divided by 4? Can we get even groups? 4 even groups? All right, thank you. I see Zaria and Ramon saying 13. Good job. Awesome. So here, B is the answer for this question. That's the only number that when we divide it by 4, we do not get total groups. So our correct answer for this would be 46. Thank you. Now, next question. So this one, the one that we just did, the correct answer is B, but you would notice at the end that C was circled. But the correct answer is B, as we just explored together. Now, this question says, Tom has a total of 65 marbles. He has 21 red, 16 blue, 28 yellow marbles. Which set of marbles can be shared equally into 3 groups? So let us see. Shared equally into 3 groups. Similar to what we just did. We must divide by 3 to see which one can be shared equally into 3 groups. I'm seeing many people saying red. All right. I'm seeing Ramon also saying red. Queen saying red. Niger saying red. William saying red, and William is also giving an explanation. I love this. So he says red because 7 times 3 is 21. All right. Maurice is also showing that explanation. So Jay is showing that explanation. Good job, guys. I love to see these explanations in the chat. All right. All right. Okay, love bug. All right. So we first have to think about 21 divided by 3 because we're making 3 equal groups. 21 divided by 3 would be, put your answer in the chat. That would be equal to 7. Then we think of 16 divided by 3. 16 divided by 3 would be what? Would be 5 and the remainder of 1. Okay. What about 28 divided by 3? Let me see your answers in the chat. 28 divided by 3 would be 9 times with a remainder of 1. Very nice. So therefore, we will see that our correct answer is red because only 21, which represents red, can be divided by 3 equally. Good job, guys. Awesome work. Next question says, Marsha received 3 bags of sweets from her aunt. Marsha received 3 bags of sweets from her aunt. She shared 2/3 of 1 bag with her friends. How many bags of sweets does Marsha have left? I want us to think about this bit by bit. So the first thing is, Marsha received 3 bags of sweets from her aunt. So now we know that she has 3 bags. She shared 2/3 of 1 bag with her friends. How many bags of sweets does Marsha have left? I want to see some answers in the chat. Make sure when you put your answer, you write the word bags after it because I need to be sure. What you're answering. Now, William is saying depends on how many friends are there, but it doesn't matter because we're only talking about the bags. All right, so let's think about it. So even if it's 5 friends or 10 friends or 15 friends, the fact is that Marsha shared 2/3 of 1 of the bag with the friends. So we want to know how many bags of sweets are remaining. All right, so let's think about it like that. Let me see some answers in the chat. I'm seeing K Black, Maurice saying 1/3, Ramon saying 2 1/3 bag, O'Shea saying 2 1/3 bag, Ken saying 1/3. I'm seeing William asking if it's 2 1/3. Figure it out, my dear. Work it out on your paper because very soon you will be helping me to solve this. All of you will be helping me, okay? Now you're saying 2 1/3. Apparently you're confident now. No problem. That's the thing with math. You try, not even just math, even with life. Sometimes you try the first time, you're not sure. Sometimes you try the first time, you're even incorrect. But, I mean, life is not that hard. We can always try again. Okay? So make sure we have our work materials ready. Okay, so here it says, Marcia received 3 bags of sweets. I want to circle that, 3 bags. So here we are starting with 3 bags. From the 3 bags, she shared 2/3 of 1 bag with her friends. So we're going to take 1 bag from 3 bags. And now we're left with 2 bags. Okay, focus with me. Okay, so 2 bags is what we're left with. All right, now the 1 bag that we take, it says that she shared 2/3 of this 1 bag with her friends. I want to take a chance. I want to take some time to draw this 1 bag. And I'll put it in thirds, just like this. So we have 2 bags that Marsha has left. But with 1 bag, she shared only 2/3 of that 1 bag with her friends. So 1/3, 2/3. So from the 1, 2, 3/3, she shared 2/3, and now she's left with 1/3. Are we seeing that? So she did not do anything to these 2 bags before. So she still has that 2 bags. And she still has this 1/3 from the bag that she was sharing some from. So our answer would be 1 and 2 and 1/3. All right. So if your answer was A, 2 and 1/3, good job. And if you didn't solve it like this in the beginning, I hope you have some understanding now. Good job, guys. Awesome work. All right, let's go to the next question. Shanice ate 5/10 of a cake. Kemar ate 1/10, and Christine ate 3/10 of the same cake. Which 2 persons ate less than half of the cake? Which 2 persons ate less than half of the cake? So Shanice ate 5/10 of a cake. You know what? I want to see your answers in the chat, and then I will go ahead and I'll start working this out. So who ate? Is it A, Christine and Shanice, B, Kemar and Christine, or C, Shanice and Kemar? Let me see some answers in the chat. June Plum says Kemar and Christine. Sir Marie James says the same thing. Ramon says Shanice and Kemar. Shamika says Kemar and Christine. All right. I'm seeing at least 2 different answers going already in the chat. All right. So let's think about this. I see Maurice saying half of 10 is 5. So what does that mean, Maurice, if half of 10 is 5? Because I see you're explaining for us here. If half of 10 is 5, what does that really mean for our question? All right, because that's a good way to think about it. All right, so now let's think about this cake. I'm just going to draw a rectangular cake because that's easier to draw for me. And it says that Shanice ate 5/10 of this cake. All right, so these are 10 equal parts. And it says here that Shanice ate 5/10. So I'm going to shade Shanice 5/10 in green. So Shanice ate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 10 parts. Let's see how many parts we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, Shanice ate half of the cake. So if it asks which 2 persons ate less than half, clearly Shanice cannot be in the answer because just she alone ate half of this cake. But let us see then. 1/10 of the cake. Kemar ate 1/10. I'll put his in blue. He ate less than half, as you can see. And Christine ate 3/10. I'll put hers in yellow. 1, 2, 3/10. So which 2 persons ate less than half? That's what the question asked. Kemar at 1/10, and Christine at 1/10. So your correct answer has to be B, Kemar and Christine. And I can see that there were persons who got this correct straight away from the top. Good job to you. All right, good job, good job. Let's jump into our next question. How many centimeters are there in 1 meter? How many centimeters are there in 1 meter? Is it 10 centimeters? Is it 100 centimeters? Is it 1,000 centimeters? I see answers. Remember, your answer must have centimeter on the end. Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking. For now, I see Sir Marie James says 100 centimeters. Shanieka says the same thing. I am King says, Ian King says the same thing. William says the same thing. All right, June Plum as well. I see Marcia saying 10 centimeters. K Black saying 100 centimeters. Christina saying 100 centimeters. So this is Johnny. All right. All right. Now, your answer, when you're writing your answer, you must put the unit. Can't just put 10. Can't just put 100. Can't just put 1,000. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. And that is something you may have to explore on your own because, for example, let me think of something, maybe the height of your washing machine or maybe a little bit taller than your stove is about 100 centimeter. That's about 1 meter. Okay. And since we're in grade 3, if you stretch your arms out, both arms out to the side, straight out from one hand, from one finger on one hand to the next finger on the next hand, that is about 1 meter. And also that is 100 centimeter. So 1 meter is the same as 100 centimeter. Something for you to remember. All right. Good job to those who said 100 centimeters. Next question says, which of the following is equal to 1 liter? This is same like we're talking about 1 meter. All of this metric system, it's pretty much almost the same. You think about that bigger unit and you divide this into some equal parts. But tell me, for a liter, would it be 1,000 milliliter or 100 milliliter or 10 milliliter? I see Denisha saying, okay, but Denisha, you have you have CM. Sir Marie James, Johnny, saying 1,000 milliliter. I see Mama TV, June Plum saying 100 milliliter. Casey saying 100 milliliter. June Plum saying 100 milliliter. Let's think about, that big bottle of water, maybe, the very long one that is 1.5 liter. There is a shorter one, which is 1 liter. It's not very popular, but maybe some of us would have seen it. It has 1 liter in that. Within that, you can get about 4 of the very small water that has 250 milliliters in it. And if you use that little bottle of 250 milliliters, the regular small one that maybe your mom puts in your bag to go to school, that very small one, if you pour 4 of it into that 1 liter, you will get 250 milliliter times 4 would be 1,000 milliliter. That would give us 1 liter. I want you, after this class, to check this out at home. The very small bottle that says 200 milliliter, if you find one of that, and you keep adding 200 milliliter, 200 mLs, to any bottle that says 1 liter, if you add the amount of mLs you put inside, you will see that you would have gotten 1,000 milliliters. That's something for you to explore at home. Okay? So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliter. Keep that in mind. Okay. All right, next question. Now we're halfway through class. How many minutes make 1 hour? How many minutes make 1 hour? That's something that I know that many of us already know. How many minutes make 1 hour? All right. I see Sir Marie James saying 60 minutes. June Plum saying 60 minutes. Ramon saying 60 minutes. Michaela saying 60 minutes. Marcia saying 60 minutes. Jameer also saying 60 minutes. William saying 60 minutes. Barbara Silva saying 60 minutes. Yes. Nick Wayne saying 60 minutes. And Kay. Now you have to put minutes after your answer. 60 is not enough. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Good job. Now, as we are halfway between our practice today, that means we did 10 questions. We have 10 questions remaining. I want to ask you, because mangoes are my favorite. What's your favorite fruit? Type that in the chat. Let me see. Mangoes are my favorite. What's your favorite fruit? Okay. I'm looking to see fruits. Marc Antoine says banana. Okay. Sir Marie James says mango too. Kay says mangoes. Nick Wayne says grapes. All right. Ajani is saying apple. I want to see fruits. Michaela saying apples. Okay. People saying raspberry. Oh, pineapple. Apple and grapes. Watermelon. Okay. Strawberry. Okay. This conversation I'm having here, I'm just going to be saying fruits, mangoes. So if you put same or me too, those are not fruits. Orange entered the chat. Okay. All right. Good job. Now let's move on to our next question. A practice game lasted for 1 hour and 45 minutes. If the practice began at 2 o'clock, what time did it end? So let us make sure we have shown the important information, whether we put a circle around it or we put a line. 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's how long this game was. 1 hour and 45 minutes. If the practice began at 2 o'clock, another important information, what time did it end? William says 3:45. Now, find your answer in the chat. I like what you put there, but let's find an answer from the chat. 15 minutes to 4 o'clock, says Ramon. 15 minutes to 4 o'clock, says Kay. 15 minutes to 3 o'clock, says Sir Marie James. Now, I see people saying 3:45, but look at the responses. We have 30 minutes after 4 o'clock, 15 minutes to 3 o'clock, 15 minutes to 4 o'clock. All right. Okay, let's think about it. If we start at 2 o'clock, and it lasts for 1 hour and 45 minutes. So 2 o'clock plus 1 more hour will give us 3 o'clock. Plus 45 minutes would give us 3:45, as you guys said. Now 3:45 written in this format, minutes after 4 or minutes to 3 or minutes to 4 o'clock, would be what? If we're at 3:45, that means we're going to 4 o'clock. And if there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, we need 15 more. Be kind in the chat. We need 15 more minutes to get to 4 o'clock. So the correct answer would be 15 minutes to 4 o'clock. Good job, guys. I love to see your effort. I love to see you practicing. I love to see you trying. So that would be 15 minutes to 4 o'clock. Next question. What time is shown on the clock? So let's think about this. What time is shown on the clock? In the chat, I want to see 25 minutes past 10 or 25 minutes past 11 or 10 minutes past 5. First, we have to make sure we see the hour hand or we see the minute hand. Okay, so let's take note. I see someone saying 25 minutes past 10. That is Sir Marie James saying that. Ramon says 25 minutes past 10. William says 25 past 10. All right. Queen says 25 minutes past 10. Well, apparently we all know this. Michaela, Angelina also saying the same thing. June Plum. Renisha. Well, so you guys know your time. Good job. Okay, remember we're listening attentively. So when I shout you out, you can hear your name. All right, now we have 2 halves to the clock, like this. This side, we read it as past. This side, we read it as 2. The hour hand is a shorthand. So we look at the numbers that the hour hand fall between 10 and 11. You look at the minute hand, it's on the past side. So we will look to see which number, which hour it passed. The hour hand passed 10 because you get to 10 before you get to 11. There we have 10. And past, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 minutes past 10. So 10:25 is written as 25 minutes past 10. So for those who said A, good job. Good job. Awesome. Let's go to our next question. Which of the following would be best measured in milliliters? Milliliters. When do we use milliliters? Who can put that in the chat? When do we use milliliters? Okay, I see June Plum, Shellyan, Soraya, Sir Marie James saying milk. But when? Yes, as in liquid, that's the question I asked. Good job, William. We use milliliters when we're doing liquid. Good job, June Plum and Sir Marie James. But if it's a large amount of liquid, like a whole bucket of liquid. Thank you, Clover. Welcome to the chat. If it's a large drum of liquid, a large tank of liquid, will we use milliliters? Because I want a specific answer here. When do we use milliliters? Angelina says small what? So we want to say we use milliliters when we're measuring a small amount of liquid. Now, we measure this big bottle of oil also in liters. We could use milliliters as well, but it says best measured. And so if you said milk, which is a small amount of liquid, then you are correct. Good job. So milliliters, you use milliliters to measure small amount of liquid. Very good, Mark Antoine. Small amount. You would use liters if we're measuring a larger amount of liquid. And we will use grams or kilograms to measure a sack of rice. So we think about what is milliliters could best measure. Good job. How much water is in the jug? How much water is in the jug? Let's look here. 0 milliliters starts at the bottom. and it goes all the way up to 1 liter. So you'll see the different marks that tells you, or that helps you to check the measurement. All right. I see Tracy and saying 800 ml. Alicia. Okay. I'm seeing lots of persons saying 800 ml. Let me see if there's any other response in the chat. I'm seeing Shanieka saying 80 milliliters and Casey and also saying 80 milliliters. Michaela saying 800 milliliters. 800 milliliters says Najwa and Melissa. Julian also saying 800 milliliter and Jalen also saying 800 milliliters. Let's think about this. Now, you see these lines on the jug and you realize that from 0 to 1 liter is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. We know that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliter. We just looked at that. Now, if it is that it's equal to 1,000 milliliter, what would each of these 5 parts be equal to? So we have 1,000 milliliter. If we divide that by 5, we would have 200 milliliter each time. So from 0 to the first line would be 200 milliliters. Next line, 400 milliliters. It's like we're skip counting by 200. Next line, 600 milliliters. And then this line where the water has stopped would be 800 milliliters. So if you say 800 milliliters, you are correct. Good job. So you can think about a question like this. Okay, let's go to our next question. The Smith family went on vacation for 22 days in the summer. About how many weeks were they on vacation? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks? I'm looking for your answer in the chat. 22 days of vacation is about how many weeks? Okay, let's see. Shelly Ann says 3 weeks. Sir Marie James says 3 weeks. Ramon says 3 weeks. Henry says 3 weeks. Angelina says 3 weeks. Shanieka says 3 weeks. Okay. Clover says 3 weeks. Angelina says 3 weeks. Tracy Ann says 2 weeks. Barbara says 22 weeks. Nikisha says 3 weeks. Sadie says 4 weeks. I see an explanation here. William says 3 weeks because 21 days is 3 weeks. Wow, I love that explanation. Good job. Let's go ahead and explore that. Let's go ahead and explore that. Because we know that 1 week is equal to how many days? Angelina says 7 days make a week. So 7 times 3 is 21. Very good also, Angelina. I love these explanations. So here we have 1 week, and that's equal to how many? How much? 7. 7 days. Good job, Ramon. 7 days make 1 week. Now, so in order to see how many days, how many weeks these days will be, we have to divide 22 by 7, right? So 22 divided by 7. Thank you, Casey-Ann. 22 divided by 7 would be equal to what? 22 days. Sujay says 3 weeks and 1 day. 22 divided by 7 is equal to 3 weeks and 1 day is remaining. So 3 weeks and 1 day. Since the question says about how many weeks, it is like an estimate. All right. So 22 divided by 7 would be 3 weeks and 1 day. And that answer is closest to B, saying 3 weeks. Wow. Good job, guys. See, I'm proud of you the way you're putting out so much effort here. And I love explanations. All right. We have 5 more questions to go before we end today. And before we go to the next question, which country are you watching from? Which country are you watching from? Or which parish are you watching from? Go right ahead, share that with us in the chat. Okay, we have Jamaicans here. We have people from St. Catherine. Okay, very good. St. Catherine, Manchester. St. Catherine, Kingston. All right, St. Andrew. St. Catherine again. Okay, Jamaica. All right, St. Catherine. Ooh, many St. Catherine people. Jamaica, St. Catherine. All right. Manchester. Okay. Clarendon. All right. Okay, good job. Thank you for sharing. So I know you know the parish that you're joining us from. Okay. Now let's move on to our next question. Which statement is true about 100 meters? And we have explored meters for a while here. I see Trelawney in Portland in the house as well. All right. Which statement is true about 100 meters? Is it that it is equal to 1 kilometer? Is it that it is shorter than 1 kilometer? Is it that it is longer than 1 kilometer? What is true about 100 meters? Which statement? Okay. All right. So firstly, we have to think about how many meters make a kilometer, because that's what we're comparing here. How many meters make 1 kilometer? Who can tell me that in the chat? How many meters make 1 kilometer? Go ahead and share that with me in the chat. 1 meter, and I'll use M, is equal to, not 1 meter, 1 kilometer is equal to what? All right. Shanieka says 1,000 meter. So 1 kilometer is equal to, remember, I need to see your answer with your unit in the chat. Michaela says 1,000 meter. Yes, you are right. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So that means 100 meter cannot be equal to 1 kilometer. A is wrong. 100 meter, is it shorter than 1 kilometer? It has to be, because 1,000 is more than 100. Well, let's look at C before we move on. 100 meter is longer than 1 kilometer. You already see that is wrong, because 1,000 meter makes 1 kilometer. So if your answer is B, it is shorter than 1 kilometer, then you are correct. All right, good job. Okay. Let's move on to our next question. Perimeter. Have you learned perimeter in your class yet? Have you started to learn perimeter? Put yes in the chat or no. Have you started to look at perimeter in your class? Yes or no in the chat. Okay, you have started to learn perimeter. Okay, awesome. Some says no, no problem. Now, who can tell me what perimeter is in the chat? Tell me what is perimeter in the chat. What is perimeter in the chat? For those who have started to learn it in their class, what is perimeter in the chat? No, Sir James, perimeter is different from area, but what is perimeter in the chat? KD Murphy says a perimeter is a surface. Not really. William says the size of a shape. Not really. Henry says the area around. Now, I don't like the way we say area and around in this one, but Angelina says the distance around. So I will work with that. Marva says the distance around any given object or any given shape. So perimeter is the distance, the complete distance around a shape like this one. As you can see here, I'm going the distance around the shape. It's the perimeter. When you put a fence around your yard, that is the perimeter of your yard. When you put a fence around the school, that's the perimeter around the school. When you are playing netball or football or basketball, and there's a boundary, that line at the side that goes all the way around the field, that is the perimeter. Okay, so it's the total distance around. And when we say total distance around, it is telling us we're going to add the length of each side. Now, the key, very important, says one side is equal to 1 unit. So let's go ahead and start measuring these sides. All right, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's the total distance around. So the total distance around will be 18 units. So for those who said 18 units like Shelley and Green, good job. Like Melissa, good job. Remember, we're measuring in units, not kilometer or centimeter. Queen says 18 units, good job. Your answer cannot just be 18. You have to say units. Cannot just be 9. You must say 9 units. You must say 7 units. Another way to think about this is, here we have at the top, we know a rectangle has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. So we can think about it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If one long side is 7 units long, we can say 7. That means this other long side also has to be 7 units long. We can add the other side of 7 to it. If we think about this length on this side, 1, 2, then we can add 2. And if we think about, since it's a rectangle, the length on the next side, it must also be 2. So 7 plus 7 is equal to what? 7 plus 7 is equal to 14 plus 2. 14 plus 2 is equal to, thank you guys for helping me, is equal to 16. Good job. Plus another 2 is equal to 18. So it will be 18 units. You can think of it whichever way is easier for you. So our answer is 18 units. Good work, guys. Let's look at the next question. A rectangular flower garden has a perimeter of 24 meters. Which of the following could be the length and the width of the flower garden. Now, see that second explanation that we gave for question 37 with the rectangular shape that we got? We can use that knowledge to solve this for this rectangular flower garden. It is a perimeter of 24 meters. Let's focus on our work. If we all focus on our work, we'll be good. Okay, so let's all be responsible and focus on our work. So if the perimeter is 24 and we're talking about a rectangular garden, it means that we have to think about the length and the width. And just like we explored, for a rectangle, let me go ahead and draw one here, just so we can put things into perspective. It means that this length must be equal to this length, and this length must also be equal to this length. All right, so let's think about this one to be the length and this one to be the width for the purpose of our question. If some people put in the chat, so let me see some answers in the chat so we can explore them on this rectangle. Is the length 9 meters and the width 3 meters? Is the length 6 meters and the width 4 meters? Is the length 10 meters and the width 4 meters? Put your answer in the chat so we can start working it out. Put some answer in the chat so we can start working it out. All right, so put length equals, width equals in the chat. Okay, June Plum says length equals 6 meters and width equals 4 meters. All right, so let's go with June Plum's answer for, okay, I think, okay, let me change this to 6. She said 6 meters. And the width, she said, is 4 meters. Now, since it's a rectangle, if this part is 6 meters, it means the opposite length is also 6 meters. And if this part is 4 meters, it means the opposite is 4 meters. Let's add this and see if we get 24 meters in all. 6 meters plus 6 meters gives us what? 6 meters plus 6 meters gives us what? Help me out in the chat. What is 6 plus 6? Thank you, June Plum. Good job. 12 plus 4. 12 plus 4. 12 plus 4 is 12. Okay, thank you, Ramon. 16. 16 plus 4 is? It is 16 plus 4. Thank you, Niquane. 20. And it says 24 meters. That means these dimensions would not work. So let's go ahead, erase them, and go ahead and put another answer in the chat so we can explore it. Because remember, at the end, we should have 24 meters. So we see that B cannot work. All right. I see Jalen saying 9 plus 9, 18. 3 plus 3, 6. 18 plus 6 equals 24. So the answer is A. Let's check that out, Jalen. Thank you for your explanation. You know I love explanations. Good job. But let's check this out. So you said the length is 9 meters and the width is 3 meters. Since it's a rectangle, guys, 9 meters for one length, the opposite length is also 9 meters. And 3 meters for this width, the opposite is also 3 meters. Let's check this out. 9 plus 9 Here we have 9 plus 9 is equal to what? What is 9 plus 9? Help me out in the chat, guys. Help me to add. 9 plus 9 is? Thank you, Bisa, Arta, Tresha. Okay. 18. 18 plus 3 is equal to what? 18 plus 3. Thank you, Niquane. 21. And plus this other 3. So the 21 plus 3 will be equal to what? Thank you, guys. Niquane, thank you. 24. So here you can see that A is the correct answer because when we add all the sides up for this to find the perimeter of this rectangle, we got 24 meters. So if you said the correct answer is A, good job. Give yourself a clap. Okay, good job. Let's move on to our next question. Before we move on, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're understanding and you're learning much so far. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. All right, thank you. Now here it says a pencil, a pen, and a screw were measured using pieces of centimeter rulers as shown below. Use them to answer question 39. All right, so here we have pieces of centimeter ruler. It's like a ruler is broken. We just found a piece. And we used a piece to measure the length of this pencil. We may have found another broken piece. We use that to measure the length of this pen. We have another broken piece. We use to find the length of this screw. Which object is the longest? Put the object in the chart. Which object is the longest? The pencil, the pen, or the screw? KD Murphy says pencil is 5. And Angela says pencil. Sir Marie James says the pen is the longest. Ramon says the pencil. Shanieka says the pen. Let's check this out together. So the pencil, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeters. The pencil is 5 centimeters. Let's check out the pen. 1, 2, 3, 4. The pen is 4 centimeters. And in your exam, make sure you double check and check them before you put an answer. You have time. Be sure of your answer. Check your answer. Let's check on the screw. 1, 2, 3. 3 centimeters. Which one is the longest? All right. The longest is the pencil because it has 5 centimeters. Good job. Good job. Now, before we go to our final question, I will see you again on Monday at 4 p.m. for our next class. So hopefully I see you there. Tell your friends in school tomorrow to join. Have someone send them the link so they can join, or just write down the name of the channel so they can go to it and join and benefit from our next grade 3 diagnostic test preparation class live on PriMath Zoom. Now we'll go to question 40. And if you have any grade 6 classmates, grade 6 siblings, or friends, the next session, which will start at 6 o'clock, is for them today. Question 40 and the last question. What is the best estimate for the area of the pentagon below? Now, this is an area question. Have you started to learn about area in your class? Type yes in the chat or no. Have you started to learn about area? Put yes or no in the chat if you are learning about area so far in your class. Okay, many people are saying no. All right, no problem. Okay, Julian says yes, she has started. All right, okay. Now, remember when I asked about perimeter and someone said something about the surface? That's what area is. Area is the surface in between all those lines of the perimeter. So let me make this simpler instead of using more than one terms together. See the shape? The space inside is the area. Yes, KD. The space inside is the area. So the distance around is the perimeter, but the space inside is the area. How do we think about the best estimate for the area inside? We do so by counting each unit, and each square is 1 unit. So we do so by counting each unit inside, and it says best estimate. So we have 15 units square. We write our area answers with a square at the top, this little 2. B says 20 units square. C says 20 units square. And correctly read, it's 15 square units, 20 squared units, 23 squared units. So you can type your answer in the chat. Let me see what you think before I go to explain it. All right, and remember that this video will be on the channel, as well as if you have missed our past lessons, they're all there on the chat. Just go into the grade 3 diagnostic playlist and you can watch over all these videos or watch the ones that you have missed. All right, so since we're counting how many square units are in the middle, let's go right ahead and start doing so together. All right, so when we're doing this, because we're talking about a best estimate, let's think about if there is a, let me get back to my laser. If there is a complete square, like this one here, we count this as 1. If we have one like half or more, the size is half or more, we also count it as 1. But if it is less than 1 or less than half, like this, we will not count it because we're using our best estimate. Okay, so let's get into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And we could consider this and say 24, but it's an estimate. So if you counted 24, because we're not counting this little part here, we're not counting this little part either. We're not counting this little part. We have counted 24 squared units. Now, which of these would be the best estimate? 15 units, 20 squared units, 15 squared units, or 23 squared units? Put your answer in the chat. Now, you may not be able to put this little 2 on it, so you read it properly by saying 23 squared units. All right? Because 23 units is different from 23 squared units. I see William put 23 square in the chat. He found a way to do that little 2 at the top. All right, so our correct answer would be 23 squared units. We have to put this little 2, that means squared. This little 2 helps us to understand that we're talking about the surface, the square units on the surface. All right, so yes, our correct answer is C, 23 squared unit. Thank you, Queen Roberts. And thank you everyone for joining. Now, I believe you did a great job today exploring these 20 items. You put your answer in the chat. You shared your responses in the chat. That was very good. I'm very proud of your efforts. Even if you did not get some of them correct, you can always go back, watch this video, practice some more. Now, I want to encourage you to keep practicing at home and challenge yourself with more new problems. Okay, and until Monday at 4 p.m., have a great weekend. See you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.